The old man saw these companions. "Oh, please, good beings, please help me. Alas, I have made a fire. I would hunt for myself or gather food, but alas, I am old, I am weak, I am too weak. I can barely keep warm by this fire, but I shall surely perish without any food. And since I'm too weak, could you please help me find some food?" Now at first, the animals who had been hunted and chased and beaten by humans all their lives looked out at human and they were conscious. And then Fox swaggered forward. "Ah, look, he's an old man. He can't harm us." "Oh, oh, oh," said the monkey. "Oh, he's very weak. He can barely lift his hand at us." And then Rabbit hopped forward. "Not only is he weak, he is dying. We must help him find food." The old man nodded as he watched the three companions, Fox and Monkey and Rabbit, wander off in three different directions. And when they were totally out of sight, that old man waved his hands and the radiant beam of light appeared, sat in meditation, and smiled, began to glow. Perhaps there is hope for living kind on earth. Meanwhile, Rabbit made his way through the forest, looking and foraging and finding twigs, dry leaves, and bitter grasses. How will the old man survive on this? I must keep looking. And so with his whole heart in mind, he kept looking and looking for some morsel, some way to nourish the dying old man. Meanwhile, the fox had made his way down by the river where he usually caught a fish or two, and to his luck, a fisherman had just hauled in the day's catch and inadvertently turned his back on a very full basket of fish. Fox scurried down there and scampered off with a basket full of fish, and as he was racing back through the forest, he thought, "He's a skinny old man. He could probably only eat one fish anyway. That's it. Only one fish is all he can use. I'll take the rest." And he scampered off to his den to hide a basket full of fish and picked out a single fish, the smallest one he could find, and made his way back to the campfire. Meanwhile, the monkey scampered up into the trees and began swinging his way through the forest, looking and looking for... Oh, he's in luck as well. He saw there was a farmer who had just harvested a basket full of sweet persimmons. Oh, lucky day. And it turned out that the farmer was not paying attention as well, and Monkey swooped down and with his tail made off with a basket full of fruit. And of course, swinging from this tree, he was quickly back at the place of the campfire. He saw there was not an old man, but a radiant being of light. Ah, a spirit, a god from the heavens. Hey, perhaps if I give him a whole basket full of fruit, perhaps he'll reward me with a boon, some good luck. Perhaps I'll be rewarded 1,000-fold, maybe a life of eternity. I'll just wait my chance, and then I'll give him the whole basket. And he waited to time himself with the return of Rabbit and Fox. Well, at this moment now, the radiant being Chakra was now stirring from his meditation, just in time as he opened his eyes and turned back into a hungry old man. He saw through the grasses a pair of ears and a swishing tail. Monkey swooped down to join him, and now there were three of the companions before the old man. "Oh, dear friends, what have you found for me?" Well, the fox swaggered up. "Went down the river for you, and I went and looked. I spent all day looking, and I could only find one little fish, but here, it's for you, and never mind me. You can have the fish. You need more than I." But all the while he was thinking and drooling for the basket full of fish back in his den. Meanwhile, a monkey swooped down and said, I was luckier. Here, a whole basket full of fruit. Woo, for you. And you can have the whole thing. I don't need to have anything. No, you don't even need to reward me. You don't even need to thank me. You don't need to reward me at all. No, unless you want to." Well, the old man nodded. And he was about to ask the rabbit what he had found when the rabbit already hopped forward and said, "Oh dear sir, I searched all day long. I rummaged about for grasses and roots, but all of this I know you cannot eat. And so I will give something that will surely nourish you." "What is that?" said the old man. And without a moment of waiting, the rabbit looked at the raging fire and leaped into the flames. "I will give of myself. You may eat of my flesh to save your life." Suddenly, whoosh, Shaka waved his hands and appeared as the god and cooled those radiant, raging fires into a flickering light and scooped out that rabbit unscathed by the flames. That won't be necessary, little one. And he turned to the fox and the monkey. You, fox, monkey, it is true you were going to give a gift, but not a gift of your heart. You, fox, were giving from selfishness, and you, monkey, were giving from the heart of self-servitude. None of this will alleviate the suffering in this world. But I shall give you a gift equal to the sincerity of your gift. I will give you nothing. Whereas, rabbit, you were willing to give truly of yourself to save another one's life. And for you shall be rewarded. And with another wave of his hand, that radiant being of light, and the rabbit soared up into the sky, high above the breeze, above the clouds, as he gazed down and saw the fox and the monkey sitting before a dwindling fire. Meanwhile, Shakra and the rabbit soared up into the sky, where Shakra deemed the rabbit the resident of the celestial being on the moon. And to this day, no star in the sky, no myriad of constellations can ever outshine the light of compassion, a lesson for all humanity. And to this day, if you go gaze out upon an evening of a full bright moon, if you see those dark marks and shades and shadows on the moon, you'll make out an image to remind you to give from the heart to the image of the rabbit